I moved into the house in early October, right when the weather started turning cold. It wasn't anything special, just a small, single-story place at the edge of a quiet suburban neighborhood. The rent was low for the area, which should have been my first warning, but at the time I chalked it up to luck. The landlord was older, soft-spoken, and eager to fill the place quickly. He didn't ask many questions. Neither did I. The house felt empty in a way I liked. No creaks, no drafts, no strange smells. Just silence. After years of apartment living, the quiet felt like relief. I unpacked slowly, room by room, settling into a routine. Wake up early, go to work, come home after dark, eat, sleep. Simple. The first thing I noticed, though I didn't think much of it at the time, was that some of my stuff never stayed where I left it. At first, it was small things. My shoes by the front door would be slightly turned, like someone had nudged them. A kitchen chair pulled out just a few inches. Cabinet doors not fully closed. I assumed I was just tired. Muscle memory filling in gaps. It's amazing how often we blame ourselves when something doesn't make sense. A week later, I found a glass in the sink that I didn't remember using. I live alone. I always rinse my dishes immediately. That's one of those habits you don't forget. The glass wasn't dirty, just wet, sitting there like it had been recently washed. I stood in the kitchen for a long time, staring at it, trying to remember. Eventually, I shrugged it off. Long day at work. Brain fog. The nights were quiet, but not peaceful. Around 2 or 3 a.m., I'd wake up for no clear reason. Not from a noise, just that sudden, sharp awareness, like someone had said my name. I'd lie there in the dark, listening. Nothing. No footsteps. No doors. Just the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of traffic. Still, I started sleeping with my bedroom door locked. A few days later, I noticed the attic access panel in the hallway was slightly ajar. I had never opened it. I didn't even own a ladder tall enough to reach it. I pushed it closed, feeling a strange chill crawl up my spine as I did. That night, I dreamed someone was standing over my bed, breathing softly, waiting for me to wake up. When I did wake up, my bedroom door was unlocked. I know this for a fact. I check it every night. It's automatic. Lock the door, test the handle, then get into bed. That morning, the lock turned freely. No resistance. No memory of unlocking it. I told myself I must have forgotten. But the feeling didn't go away. Things escalated slowly after that. Food went missing, not much, just enough to be noticeable. A slice of bread. Half a banana. Once, an entire container of leftovers I'd been saving for dinner was gone. I searched the trash, thinking maybe I'd thrown it away without realizing. It wasn't there. One evening, I came home to find the living room smelling faintly like sweat. Not body odor exactly, more like stale fabric and skin. It lingered near the couch. I opened windows, sprayed air freshener, and tried not to think about it. That night, while brushing my teeth, I noticed something in the mirror behind me. The bathroom door was open. I always close it. I stood frozen, staring at my reflection, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Slowly, I turned around. The hallway was empty. Dark. Silent. I slept with the lights on after that. The breaking point came when I found fingerprints on the inside of my bedroom window. They were faint, slightly smeared, like someone had pressed their hands against the glass from inside the room. Not mine. Too large. Too many. I wiped them away with shaking hands and called in sick to work the next day. That's when I installed security cameras. Just cheap indoor ones. One in the living room. One facing the hallway. One in the kitchen. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't even tell myself exactly what I was afraid of. I just needed proof, either that I was imagining things, or that I wasn't alone. The first 2 nights, nothing happened. On the third night, around 1:47 a.m., my phone buzzed with a motion alert. I opened the app, half expecting to see a glitch or my cat, except I don't have a cat. The camera feed loaded slowly. At first, I saw nothing unusual. Just the hallway, dimly lit by the nightlight I'd plugged in near the bathroom. Then I noticed movement near the ceiling. The attic panel was open. Something shifted in the darkness above it. I watched, paralyzed, as a hand emerged from the opening. Pale. Thin. Fingernails dark with dirt. It gripped the edge of the panel and pulled downward. A face followed. It was a man. Or at least, it looked like one. His hair was matted and greasy, hanging in uneven clumps around his face. His skin looked gray, stretched tight over sharp cheekbones. His eyes were sunken, darting back and forth like an animal scanning for danger. He lowered himself silently into the hallway. I couldn't breathe. My hands were numb. I wanted to scream, to call the police, to do anything, but I couldn't look away. The man stood there for a moment, listening. Then he smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was slow, deliberate. Like he knew something I didn't. Then he walked toward my bedroom. I don't remember grabbing my keys. I don't remember unlocking the front door. The next thing I knew, I was outside, barefoot, shaking uncontrollably, my phone still clutched in my hand. I called the police. I tried to explain. They arrived quickly, lights flashing, weapons drawn. They searched the house top to bottom. They found signs of someone living there. In the attic, there was a makeshift sleeping area, old blankets, empty food wrappers, bottles filled with urine. Scratches along the beams, like tally marks. Personal items I thought I'd misplaced were there too. My missing clothes. My spare phone charger. Even a toothbrush. They found a notebook. Inside were pages and pages of writing. Notes about my schedule. What time I left for work. What time I came home. What I ate. What I watched on TV. Comments about my habits. My routines. On the last page, written in shaky handwriting, was a single sentence. He doesn't know I'm here yet. The man was never found. The police told me it was likely a case of frogging, someone secretly living in an occupied home. It happens more often than people realize, they said. Transients. Mentally ill individuals. Sometimes former tenants who never really leave. That explanation didn't comfort me. Because a week later, after I'd moved out and was staying with a friend, I received a notification on my phone. Motion detected. From a camera I forgot to unplug. The living room feed showed the house empty. Then, slowly, the camera tilted upward. Someone was holding it. And then the feed cut to black. I still check locks 3 times before sleeping. I still wake up at night, listening for breathing that isn't mine. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I can still see that smile, waiting patiently in the dark, just above the ceiling, listening to my life happen below him. I thought leaving the house would fix everything. That distance would bring clarity. That once I wasn't sleeping under the same roof where someone had been watching me, the fear would loosen its grip. It didn't. At my friend's place, I barely slept. Every sound felt amplified, the hum of the heater, the creak of the floorboards, the distant siren miles away. I kept imagining footsteps above me, even though I was sleeping on the 2nd floor. My body reacted before my mind could catch up. Every night, I'd wake up gasping, convinced someone was standing just out of sight. The police called a few days later to say the investigation had stalled. No fingerprints matched. No known squatters in the area fit the description. They told me cases like this often go unresolved. People like that disappear easily. They blend in, move on, find another place where no one is paying close attention. That sentence stuck with me. Another place where no one is paying close attention. I went back to the house one last time to collect the rest of my belongings. I didn't want to, but I needed closure, or at least the illusion of it. I went during the day, bringing 2 friends with me. The house looked normal in the sunlight. Too normal. Clean. Quiet. Like nothing bad had ever happened there. The attic panel was closed. One of my friends joked about it, trying to lighten the mood. I laughed along, but my eyes kept drifting upward. I half expected it to open on its own, like it had some kind of memory. While packing, I noticed something else I hadn't seen before. In the back of the hallway closet, behind coats and cleaning supplies, there was a small door I didn't recognize. It was narrow and painted the same color as the wall, almost invisible unless you knew to look for it. I opened it slowly. Inside was a crawl space. It ran along the length of the house, just wide enough for a person to move through if they stayed low. The air coming from it was stale and warm, carrying that same faint smell I'd noticed weeks earlier. Sweat. Fabric. Skin. My friends stopped joking after that. We didn't stay much longer. As we were leaving, I felt it again, that sensation of being watched. Not from the attic. Not from the crawl space. From somewhere outside. I turned, scanning the street, the neighboring houses, the parked cars. Nothing. I handed the keys to the landlord later that afternoon. He didn't seem surprised by anything I told him. That bothered me more than it should have. Weeks passed. Life tried to return to normal. I found a new place, an apartment this time, with neighbors on all sides. Thin walls. Too many people around for someone to hide unnoticed. That's what I told myself. But the habits stayed. I started noticing patterns everywhere. Someone standing too long near my car. A figure reflected in store windows. Footsteps that stopped when I turned around. I knew, logically, that trauma rewires your brain. Makes you see threats where there aren't any. But then the emails started. The first one was empty. No subject. No message. Just a blank email from an address made up of random letters and numbers. I deleted it. The second one came 2 days later. Still no subject. This time, one sentence. You changed places. My heart dropped into my stomach. I didn't reply. I didn't tell anyone. I blocked the address. That night, I slept with every light on in the apartment. The third email arrived a week later. You lock your doors more now. I reported it to the police. They took the report, nodded sympathetically, told me it was probably someone messing with me. A troll. A coincidence. They asked if anyone else knew what had happened at the house. I said no. That was a lie. Because deep down, I was afraid of the alternative. The emails stopped after that. Months went by without incident. The tension in my chest slowly loosened. I started sleeping again. Started believing that whatever had happened was over. Until I found the note. It was taped to the inside of my mailbox. Folded neatly. No handwriting I recognized. Just 4 words, written in the same shaky script from the notebook the police had found. Too many people here. I moved again after that. New city. New job. New routine. I stopped talking about the house altogether. Some stories don't make sense unless you've lived inside them, and even then, they sound unreal. Sometimes, late at night, I think about how easy it was. How someone lived in my home for weeks, maybe longer, without me knowing. How close he was. How he knew my life better than I did. And what scares me most isn't that it happened. It's that I'll never know how many times he stood just above me, listening, while I told myself I was alone.